To produce a chip using the 2 nanometers process, we need lenses with a level of flatness so extreme that if one were scaled up to the size of the entire United States, the highest bump or dip on its surface could not exceed 1 millimeter. In this world, there is only one company capable of achieving something that extraordinary. That company is ZEISS. Today, we will explore why, without ZEISS, ASML's trillion-dollar technology empire would collapse overnight, and why this is actually the most powerful alliance on the planet. Before we begin, please give our team a like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any interesting questions or topics you would like us to cover, please leave a comment below this video. Let's take a deeper look into this analysis to find out what that secret weapon really is. To fully understand this dominance, we will go through 5 main sections. First, the double bottleneck. Next, the challenge of light. Third, the perfect mirrors. Fourth, the weapon of time. And finally, a look into the future with High-NA EUV. Okay, let's get started with part 1, the double bottleneck. We all know that ASML surpassed once famous names such as Nikon and Canon to become the undisputed winner in the lithography race. The entire world talks about ASML as the final boss of the semiconductor industry, the king holding the key to the digital economy. And that is not wrong. Today, only ASML can manufacture EUV machines worth hundreds of millions of dollars, the systems responsible for producing the most advanced chips on the planet. But don't you think there is something almost ironic about this story in a very high-tech way? Because behind all that glory, every ASML machine depends on an optical system of lenses and mirrors so complex that only ZEISS is capable of manufacturing it. Realizing that it could hardly survive without this partner, ASML made an unprecedented move by spending billions of euros to acquire nearly 1/4 of Carl Zeiss SMT. More specifically, in 2016, ASML paid 1 billion euros in cash to acquire a 24.9% stake in Carl Zeiss SMT. At the same time, it committed to investing an additional approximately 760 million euros in research and the expansion of optical manufacturing capacity over the following 6 years. And this is where the story becomes truly interesting. While the rest of the world lines up and waits for ASML to deliver its machines, ASML itself has to wait for ZEISS to supply the optical heart of those machines. A very clear example is the new generation of High-NA EUV systems, which currently cost around 350 to 380 million euros per unit, making them as expensive as a major infrastructure project. Yet even if customers have the money ready, they still cannot buy these machines without the mirrors and lenses manufactured by ZEISS. If ASML is the narrow gateway that the entire global technology industry must pass through, then ZEISS is the only lock installed on that gateway. As a result, the story becomes rather ironic. The entire technology industry depends on ASML, while ASML depends on ZEISS. So why has ZEISS managed to monopolize this lock? Let's move on to part 2, the problem of light. Let me explain this part a little. For many decades, traditional lithography technology worked exactly like a magnifying glass or a camera. Light passed through multiple lenses and was then focused onto a silicon wafer to print extremely tiny circuit patterns. Everything worked quite reliably. But the semiconductor industry has always suffered from a chronic condition. It never has enough. Chips must become more powerful, transistors must become smaller, and AI must become smarter. And that is how EUV was born. With a wavelength of only about 13.5 nanometers, nearly 15 times smaller than older technologies. At first glance, it sounds very simple. Smaller wavelengths of light can produce smaller features. But reality is not that straightforward. Do you know what the greatest irony of EUV technology is? It is not the challenge of building a machine worth nearly $400 million. The real problem is that EUV light refuses to pass through glass. At this ultra-small scale, physics immediately delivers a harsh lesson to engineers. Nearly all conventional materials absorb EUV light. The finest optical glass in the world, which has helped humanity observe objects billions of light-years away in the universe, suddenly becomes as useless as an expensive piece of crystal. The moment EUV light touches it, the light is absorbed. It cannot pass through, cannot be focused, and cannot be used for anything at all. The funny part is that humanity has built telescopes capable of observing galaxies billions of light years from Earth. Yet at a wavelength of 13.5 nanometers, almost all of those optical technologies become practically helpless. And it was precisely this physical nightmare that forced the semiconductor industry to abandon lenses and switch to a solution that sounds like science fiction: the use of ultra-precise mirrors. ASML and ZEISS had to develop a system consisting of approximately 6 ultra-precise mirrors inside an EUV machine. Each mirror reflects about 70% of the EUV light. That may sound like a lot, but after multiple successive reflections, the amount of light that ultimately reaches the wafer is reduced to only about 1 to 2% of the original power. In other words, more than 98% of the light disappears along the way. Yet the system must still operate with enough precision to print features measuring only a few nanometers. Imagine it this way. It is like shooting an arrow from Washington and hitting the exact center of a coin placed in California. This is also the moment when ZEISS steps onto the stage with its most formidable weapon. Okay, now let's move on to part 3. The problem is that even when mirrors are used, EUV light is still extremely susceptible to being absorbed by surfaces. As a result, ZEISS was forced to invent a type of mirror more complex than anything previously seen in industrial history. Each mirror is coated with more than 100 ultra-thin layers of material stacked in an alternating structure. Why does it have to be so complicated? Because a single layer of material simply cannot reflect this type of light effectively. It is similar to a trampoline. One layer alone would fail immediately, but when hundreds of ultra-thin layers are stacked together with absolute precision, they create enough reflective power to bounce the light back. If the structure deviates by even a single atom, the reflection efficiency drops significantly. More specifically, each EUV mirror made by ZEISS is not coated with just a few ordinary layers of material, but with approximately 100 to 120 alternating layers of molybdenum and silicon. Each layer is only about 3 to 4 nanometers thick, making it nearly 20,000 times thinner than a human hair. Creating such a multi-layer coating is already an engineering marvel. But ZEISS's obsession does not stop there. What truly turns its engineers into perfectionists lies in the smoothness of the mirror surface. The key to success or failure ultimately comes down to a number that seems incredibly small, 1 millimeter. To help you visualize it, if a ZEISS mirror were enlarged to the size of the entire country of Germany, the highest bump or dip on that enormous surface would measure only about 1 millimeter. And the funny thing is that even a perfect mirror is still not enough. An EUV system requires an entire set of mirrors working together like a symphony orchestra. In practice, a complete EUV system typically uses around 6 to 8 primary optical mirrors. Each mirror can cost millions of dollars and must be aligned with nanometer-level precision. A single tiny speck of dust, an invisible surface ripple, or a mirror that shifts ever so slightly is enough to send the light beam off course immediately. The circuit pattern becomes distorted, transistors become defective, and a chip worth thousands of dollars can turn into scrap in an instant. At this point, many of you are probably asking, if that's the case, why don't other superpowers or major corporations simply spend $10 billion and copy it? So now, let's move on to part 4. The answer is actually quite brutal. ZEISS's ultimate defensive weapon is not money at all. It is time. The company was founded in 1846, meaning it has spent nearly 180 years living and breathing optics. In other words, when ZEISS began producing its first optical instruments, the telephone had not yet been invented, electric light bulbs did not yet exist, and the semiconductor industry had not even entered humanity's imagination. They are secrets accumulated, tested, failed, refined, and perfected across generations of engineers. They are experiences that have become deeply embedded in the DNA of an organization through nearly 2 centuries of existence. A competitor trying to catch up with ZEISS does not simply need to build factories, hire engineers, or pour tens of billions of dollars into research. What they truly lack is hundreds of years of accumulated knowledge, manufacturing processes, and real-world experience. To catch up with ZEISS, perhaps the most practical solution would be to invent a time machine. Smartphones are becoming more powerful, AI is advancing rapidly, and chips must continue to shrink. As a result, the next generation of chip printing machines, known as High-NA EUV, was born. At first glance, it may seem like a simple increase in numerical aperture from 0.33 to 0.55. But don't let those numbers fool you. In the semiconductor world,
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel. Bye bye.